She said, wah. I think the president echoed that, quite frankly.
All right, so let's take a listen to him.
Before the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, our nation had one of the fastest growing economies, not just in Africa, but across the world. However, the ravages of the pandemic, worsened by the effects of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, have led to spiraling freight charges, rising fuel costs, high food prices, steep inflationary spikes, and widespread business failure. I am fully aware these are very difficult times for us in Ghana, just as they are for most people in the world, cold comfort as that may be. However, just as I said recently, the Akufo-Addo government has not thrown its hands up in despair at this pernicious development. We're determined to bring relief to the Ghanaian people and return the economy back to the high rates of growth that characterized the management of our economy in the 3 years preceding the COVID outbreak in 2020. The approach to the International Monetary Fund is an important step in the short run. Above all, I continue to have an abiding faith in God to help turn the fortunes of our nation around, together with appropriate policy, determination, and hard work on our part. And I urge all of you gathered here to have that same belief that the fortunes of Ghana under the presidency of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will be restored. The battle is the Lord's.
President has abiding faith in the Lord, and he says in the end there, the battle is still the Lord's. I see you raise your hand.
Yeah, I support the battle is still the Lord. That's why I like that song very much. Yeah.
All right, so I mean, that's this speech right there that you heard, and we've heard it many times, really. But it hasn't turned the fortunes of our situation around, has it?
Oh, but he says we are determined, and those are key words in there. I mean, determination, I'm sure you can be determined. But as to whether that reflects in anything realistic and tangible on the ground, that's very, because things are getting worse by the day. Now, check the macroeconomic indicators that we used to be very proud of, that we actually mostly said had improved over the period. They are all, I mean, I'm not sure I can say they are all in the gutters now, but they are all in extremely terrible shape now. So I think we all agree on that. What's happening is that it's worsening by the day.
Right.
And appear not to be enough, both monetary and fiscal policies, to arrest and reverse it. I think also, and Professor Stephen told me yesterday that let's be fair to our people. Tell them things will get worse till the end of the year. That things may improve by the new year when we are in a program and we are doing things differently. He also says that we should not pretend currently we can still run the budget on the things we are receiving. For example, your own budget at home. If income reduces drastically, what you do? You plan on cutting back on expenditure or getting more income. So those are the things the people of this republic ought to be told clearly how we are going to do them, and not the gymnastics which has not worked in times past. He was also speaking to the very recent monetary policies that have been put together. Is that half of them are just things we are repeating which has not worked, and there are no signs that work. The other half are things that we have to go and beg and coerce people to do, which there is no element anywhere that suggests that automatically we will have them happening.
Right.
So clearly, I agree. That's why the president says that near Joy, dear, we have to have faith in God, which is very important too. Yes.
But wait, you know,
as a practicing Christian, I believe in faith in God. But we cannot use faith to emasculate the realities on the ground.
Yeah.
We cannot, when people do all that they want to do with borrowing, you tell them not to borrow, they continue to borrow, they disregard you.
Impulsive
they say that
borrowing.
when you combine their experience, they are more than decades into it, so they know what they are talking about. Then when we get into the difficulties, you ask them to now look up to God. When you
because you know you're talking about commitment. Prof saying that we as individuals we've adjusted.
Yeah, but it looks like the only group that's refusing to adjust is the people that are in power. But if you are seeing the revenue, God will not automatically increase it like that. Manna will not fall from heaven into this particular economy.
The battle is still
action
the
is what's required.
Well, let's move away from the president and then pay a little attention to Iyoko, because the Iyoko boss has also been speaking, and authorities gave us a lot of confidence that they were going to prosecute Namwan. It looks like that isn't the case. Let's take a listen.
The relevant laws defining offenses. Sometimes you believe it, somebody has committed an offense, but you can't have any relevant law to support your case prosecuted. And like I said earlier, nothing is a crime unless there's an enactment making it a crime. So, example is Men's Boat case. Which act did he break? And it's becoming difficult even prosecuting that case, because the law that will define the law, the offense, and also provide the elements, it's difficult to find. So the relevant law defining absence of that is also making prosecution difficult. One of the difficult cases to prosecute or to investigate is economic or financial crime, because it involves a lot of paperwork. And you need to prove the case. It's not because of what you think, because you believe the truth is that the person has committed offense. But the fact is that you need to provide evidence. And if you can't find something, documents are not there, and you cannot even trace, the person is on retirement, and you cannot trace anything, it will even affect prosecution processes. And when people get away with crimes, the crime will continue. So one of the things that we'll talk about is the digitalization that will support prosecution. Because if you can't provide evidence, you can't do anything.
Evidence is the name of the game, right? But Member of Parliament for South Dai, Roxanne Nelson Dapameko, obviously disagrees.
The customers came to Parliament through me, pursuant to Order 76 of our standing orders, to petition Parliament. I have as many as 10,000 names, from whom monies totally in excess of 716 million Ghana cedis have been collected from. Everybody's name and the amount that they pay to Namwan is stated. I've seen documents issued to them, names written, certificates of investment made. These are the evidence or pieces of evidence you're supposed to lead in court. Is Mami Tua saying that she hasn't got these documents available to her? I agree that she came to take over from somebody at Yoko when the person went on retirement. But it doesn't mean those documents are missing. Even if those documents are missing, you can always rebuild your docket. So it's an embarrassment for a former Director General of CID of the Republic of Ghana to say the kind of things she has come out to say.
For Echi, Roxanne Nelson Dapameko, Member of Parliament there. You identify two things when Mamitiwa spoke. You mentioned evidence.
Yeah. So, I mean, she's saying that we cannot back the very things you have said about. Okay, so initially, these are the things the man was charged with: 14 counts of abetment of crime, defrauding by false pretenses, carrying on a deposit-taking business without a license, sale of minerals without a license, unlawful deposit-taking, and money laundering. So they were later amended to 61,
right,
with a plea to be taken. So all of these, we are saying that we might not be able to support it with any evidence. You know how we do our things in this country. So based on pressure or whatever, or even sometimes intimidation, we arrest you, we charge you before we investigate. Not, which is supposed to be ideally, I mean, unless you are committing a crime at the time, but ideally it's supposed to be we investigate, then we arrest and charge. But we sometimes get it twisted. If I've heard the people who complain about this entire process, their biggest complaint was that they wanted their money back.
Exactly.
And that they were suffering out of that. I can blaze reports about how some people have died and others are struggling, some lost their sight and all of that. Their headache is not that they want to see the man in jail, or it is the government that's pursuing that point. So if the government at any point in time finds that it made a mistake or could not gather enough evidence to do what it's supposed to do, let the man go. find on eternity, but get to the root of this matter so it's not repeated in the future.
Absolutely. Well, listen, there will be more on this, but let's pay attention to the newspapers now. Our review is brought to you by Milo, Energy to Go Further, Enterprise Life's Family Income Security Plan, Enterprise Your Advantage, and First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different.
Now, let me come to the publisher. The very first paper I'm holding, it says here, Council of State splits over La Bianca Brujaha. So apparently, there was a engagement with some of the members of Council of State. Some of them are saying that no, it will blemish our collective reputation if we allow the woman to stay as one of us.
Right.
The other group is saying that no, we can't do anything about it because these are some allegations which are not as strong as supposed to be. So she has support from her side and has.
Well, what the OSP's report is an allegation?
Oh, they said that
OSP's findings
no, but
with refund?
In all fairness, the OSP's findings did not say that she should be removed. They are saying that so far all the calls for her removal have been based on what they purport she has done. And that is the other argument. So they are divided. And the very important Council of State, and who advised the president, they are divided over one of their own.
This
More
is
importantly, we are talking about how Hunter chiefs were supporting the man.
Right.
It appears that the spokesperson of this paper is reporting that a spokesperson, I would like to again, is also saying that the man, La Bianca should be made to stay. Why did I say the man? Can you believe that? I have purported and thought that it could have been the man. But the other story she should be interested in, Marabi, it is not government's duty to compensate victims of Apiati disaster. That is according to Benito Wusubio and that page 2 story.
Was that the impression they gave us when the incident happened? With the rebuilding of the community and all?
Okay, let me quote this part. Maybe it puts it in proper perspective. He says that as the committee has reiterated on countless occasions, all these measures were taken without prejudice to the right of any person to seek any lawful remedy, including the payment of compensation. And he says the committee are taking those comments by the former president, John Dramani Mahama. Remember, he said that they should not allow the people go pursue this on their own. Regarding the payment of compensation, that was his response to it anyway. So, well, you're on your own, almost like saying that.
All right. One story in the Daily Guide, the Daily Graphic newspaper for me is my church, the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, asking government to review the free senior high school education policy to allow parents capable of financing some aspects of the program to do so.
Hold on. Take your time. Was it when they met the president, when he went to their event? Yeah, because I mean, it would have been interesting.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, so
I'm
they
not
said
sure, but full story.
Issue a statement.
Full story.
I just want to be sure.
I'm not the church spokesperson yet, but I will read the entire story and let you know. But this this is Right Reverend Professor Joseph Obri Yeboah Mante, the moderator of the church.
Anyway, now the Ghanaian Times is reporting this morning, Education Ministry Limited clash over IT contracts. That's the biggest story here.
All right. Let's go online. Our online news review brought to you by Zenith Bank. In your best interest, Goil Good Energy. Eden Heights Luxury has a new destination, and Bigo Drink. All right. On my Joy Online, 2 suspects arrested in connection with death of Ghanaian taxi driver in New York. You can log on and read the story in detail. On citynewsroom.com, police restore calm at KNUST campus following Katanga County Hall clash. Time for our BBC News, brought to you by Fidelity Bank. Believe with us, Telefonica Ghana celebrating 20 years of legacy, and Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
At Enterprise Life, it's possible to live your best life. Ladies, enjoy cover for your lifestyle with Bloom. Life insurance for today's woman. Families, let's safeguard your well-being with a family income security plan, because family matters. And for you, live freely with our funeral finance plan unlimited, with no restrictions, no limits, as you cover your loved ones and yourself. WhatsApp us on 0554 001 924 or call 0307 084 444 for your solution.
You for dream big with us.
Enterprise,
your advantage.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana.